We continue to follow our top story this hour as we go in depth with the approaching celebration of Independence Day. A U.S. Marine accused of crossing the border with Mexico with firearms in his possession continues to be held in a Mexican jail. For the very latest on his case, we're very pleased to be joined by Jill Tahmooressi, the mother of Marine Sergeant Andrew Tahmooressi. Jill, we really appreciate your time, and we want to thank you for coming back to be with us here on America's Forum.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Jill, when you were last here, you said that you speak every day with Andrew. Can you give us the latest on your most recent conversation with him?
Yes, he's still extremely distraught. We're now on day 92 of captivity for literally making a wrong turn. You know, this current Marine who's decorated, still under contract till 2016, still languishing in a Mexican prison. He does have a new attorney, so he is confident that the new attorney will be able to defend him appropriately before the judge.
We know of his legal situation, but viewing the president yesterday, and John just had it in our Newsmax Now update, going to the Rose Garden to express such frustration over so-called immigration reform, again, it prompts me to ask the question, have you heard anything whatsoever from the White House in terms of getting your son freed from Mexico?
Absolutely not. The whitehouse.gov petition that's still up online, We the People, we met that threshold to require a response from the White House May 30th, but absolute silence since we met that threshold May 30th. Still no communication from the White House or Secretary of State John Kerry other than calling Andrew an issue, which in my mind infuriates me because he's a grave, serious, urgent concern and not an issue.
So they use they depersonalize your son, yes, calling this an issue.
Yes.
How did you feel yesterday when you saw the president essentially lecture all of us, and especially the Congress, expending such energy on people who are coming to the country illegally, but nothing about your son? No personal note, no utterance from the White House at all? Does it sadden you, frustrate you? What goes through your mind when you see this kind of behavior from the Oval Office?
Well, all of that. And I know Andrew is so despondent because it breaks my heart every night when I have to tell him that we have not heard from the White House yet, and that is his commander-in-chief. So it's very frustrating.
Now, when you talk to your attorneys, I know you've had a few of them, have they given you any indication why the White House or why anybody from the State Department or anybody from, outside of Matt Salmon and some of the other congressmen who have worked on your behalf, why they're not talking to you or giving you any updates?
As the attorney will say, this is a legal matter in Mexico. Though Andrew accidentally was at the border, I will not even say he crossed. He was at the border when he was ordered to continue south by the Mexicans, but it is legal because supposedly he then was on their soil with his U.S. legal purchase gun. So my attorney will just say that it has to go through the judicial system in Mexico. I now have a very credible and experienced with a great track record. So Andrew is confident that justice will prevail and that the truth will set him free.
Now, Jill, as I understand it, while you haven't heard directly from Secretary Kerry nor from President Obama, you sat down and wrote a letter to the U.S. Ambassador in Mexico, E. Wayne Anthony. Can you tell us what that letter said?
Yes, with Independence Day coming up on July 4th, it's going to be tragic to not have Andrew have his freedom back in America. So I just pleaded with him as a mother to please, if he can at least influence an expedited due process. We have a July 9th court date hearing coming up, and if we can rapidly go through these court hearings, because the evidence will speak the truth of an accidental entry. So let's get this moving, and if he has any influence through the Mexican judicial system, I would appreciate it.
So you write Ambassador Wayne.
Yes.
And you sent that letter, I guess, with a courier service to try and get it to him as quickly as possible. Any informal contacts, any relay to you at all from the State Department or our embassy in Mexico about the case since the letter's been sent?
No.
And that was an overnight service you used, so it should be in his possession right now.
Yes, yes.
You spoke of Independence Day, and we understand the difference in sovereignty. You yourself brought up the legal system in Mexico. You mentioned that, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is the third attorney.
Yes, yes.
What do you think has been the problem? Just the wrong legal counsel, or is there something? Boy, I almost hesitate to ask the question because I don't want to cast aspersions on Mexico and their justice system, but still the question is there. What do you believe is the hang-up, is the hold-up in all of this?
Unfortunately, from day one, there was not direct instruction or guidance by the State Department, so I'm only a mom trying to select the best attorneys. I selected an attorney off the reference list from the State Department. However, he was not experienced in criminal law, led me to believe that he had experience and he didn't. Same thing with attorney number 2. It wasn't until I finally brought on a credible criminal defense attorney as a resource to help me interview panels of attorneys 2 weeks ago in Mexico that we selected Mr. Benitez, who has a fine track record as a criminal defense attorney. So it's been frustrating that there hasn't been any legitimate education or instruction by the State Department. It's just a mom trying to figure out how to select a Mexican attorney.
Well, Jill, who has been the most helpful? And also, if you have a few moments, you can let us know. I know you're involved in trying to solicit more support for Andrew. Let us know how we can do that, how our viewers can help out with that, and who is helping you.
Thank you so much. Well, this is grassroots. It's me, it's my family, it's Andrew's Marine Brothers. However, I did start an AndrewFreedomFund.com. I would ask that the American public please go on there to be informed. And it is a legal defense fund in a sense that Andrew's life savings is now completely depleted now that we're on Attorney 3. We are confident that Attorney 3 will defend him appropriately and he will be released. We don't know how long that will take. It could be as much as 6 more months. However, we are asking for support if possible.
I think a lot of folks would say one day is far too many. 92, as you mentioned, is just unimaginable in a Mexican prison.
Jill, so many people have seen your story and they've gone to sign that petition to the White House. I'm wondering, as you look back over these days of your son's captivity in Mexico, is there one moment, a pointed, perhaps poignant moment, where support from the American people has served to reassure you, even though we know it's got to be frustrating and especially concerning to have your son behind bars in Mexico? Is there any one episode that stands out in your mind in terms of being demonstrative of the support you've received so far?
Well, I would just say that the American people have been awesome. I mean, they have really stepped up, and so is the legislative support. Those that are signing the H.R. 620 House resolution that's currently going to the floor, they've been phenomenal. So I would say our big point of just that we've got America behind us is when we met that 100,000 signature on May 30th.
And again, just to reinforce, no whispers, no sotto voce from the State Department saying, hey, look, we're working on this, we're getting something done. Nothing whatsoever to give you any confidence at all that either the President of the United States or our Secretary of State has done a single thing proactive to try and have your son released.
Just raise the issue as if Andrew was some kind of a bother.
I'm letting your response kind of hang in the air there, because to think about our Commander-in-Chief, even if this were a legal issue, still the presumption of innocence, and an American who takes his orders from the Commander-in-Chief, and in your mind, a bother. Jill Tahmooressi, we thank you so much for your candor, your courage, and for joining us today on America's Forum.
Thank you.
Well, you heard straight from Jill the situation, that the frustration that she feels. Your take on this, we'd very much encourage. Why don't you tweet us your comments at Newsmax TV, #America's Forum. There is also email, our address, connect@newsmaxtv.com. And please don't forget Facebook, facebook.com/Newsmax. Our website, newsmax.com, and of course, here is the website where you can help Sergeant Tahmooressi. We're coming back.